Strait of Hormuz. A single A-10 Thunderbolt II cuts through the darkness, flying low, flying slow, flying alone. Two Iranian F-14 Tomcats just found the easiest kill of their careers, or so they believed. The Warthog was impossible to miss. It moved at barely 300 knots above the black water. No altitude, no aggression, no escort visible on any Iranian radar screen. A ground attack aircraft, ugly, slow, built to absorb punishment over land battlefields, now drifting through one of the most contested choke points on Earth. The AWG-9 radar systems aboard both Tomcats painted it instantly. Clean track, perfect geometry, no electronic jamming, no defensive maneuvering, no sign the American pilot even knew he was being watched. For the Iranian crews, this wasn't just an opportunity, it was a gift. They pushed inner throttles forward and began to close.
The F-14 Tomcat was never built to lose. A fleet defense interceptor designed in the late 1960s. Variable geometry wings, twin engines pushing it past Mach 2.4, and a radar system capable of tracking 24 targets and engaging 6 at once. Beneath it, AIM-54 Phoenix missiles, long range, lethal, designed to destroy threats before they even get close. Against a slow, non-maneuvering A-10, none of that power was even necessary. Any weapon would have been enough. Iran kept these aircraft flying through decades of sanctions, improvised parts, reverse engineering, pure determination. And the pilots flying them today are not amateurs. They are elite, highly trained, highly experienced, and on this morning, they believed they had an effortless kill.
30 miles, closing fast. The A-10 did not react. No countermeasures, no evasive maneuver, no climb, no acceleration. It just kept moving. Steady, mechanical, like a driver who never checked his mirrors. 25 miles. Still nothing. Everything looked perfect. Everything felt easy. 20 miles. Weapons authorization. Target locked. And everything was going exactly as planned. And that was the warning. Because in combat, when everything goes perfectly, you're already inside someone else's plan.
The answer was already above them. 40,000 feet in the sky. Two F-35 Lightning II fighters had been there for 41 minutes. Silent, invisible, undetectable. They didn't leave the airspace. They simply disappeared from it. To Iranian radar, they didn't exist. But they saw everything. Every movement, every signal, every decision. They knew the exact position of both F-14s, their speed, their altitude, their intent. They had the full picture. The A-10 pilot knew it too, because this mission was never what it looked like. The slow speed, the low altitude, the lack of escort, none of it was accidental. It was designed to look like weakness, the perfect bait, and the trap was already set.
3:58 a.m. 18 miles. The missile launches. An AIM-54 Phoenix drops, ignites, and accelerates towards its target. For a few seconds, everything looks like victory. Perfect tracking, perfect geometry, perfect execution. Then, everything changes. Both F-35s activate their radar at the same moment. Inside the Iranian cockpits, warning alarms explode. Two separate lock signals, different directions, different ranges, no visible enemy, no radar contact, nothing, just empty air, locking them. Confusion hits instantly. Your missile is already in the air. Your radar sees nothing. Your wingman is shouting. And suddenly, you realize something terrifying. You don't understand the battlefield anymore.
The lead F-14 brakes hard, full power, aggressive turn, trying to escape. He attempts a classic maneuver to disappear from radar. It used to work against older systems, but not anymore. An AIM-120 AMRAAM is already inbound, locked, autonomous, relentless. There is no escape. Seconds later, a flash in the sky. Bright, violent, instant. The F-14 is gone. No ejection, no distress call, just fire. Then silence. 15 seconds later, the second pilot runs. And this time, he makes the right decision. Full throttle, sharp turns, unpredictable movement. Survive at any cost. The F-35s don't pursue. They don't need to. The engagement is already over. 4:02 a.m. The A-10 banks slowly and continues its path, untouched, unharmed. It never changed course, never deployed countermeasures, never reacted, because it didn't have to. One aircraft destroyed, one escapes, and the target was never in danger. But the real question isn't what happened, it's this. How many times has this already happened without anyone knowing? How many patrols were watched from above by aircraft that never appeared on radar? How many pilots flew through airspace they believed was empty while being tracked the entire time? The answer is uncomfortable. 4:15 a.m. Strait of Hormuz. Back to silence. Ships continue moving. Nothing changes on the surface, but everything has already changed.
The F-14 was once the king of the sky, and even today, it remains dangerous. The pilots did everything right, by their doctrine, by their training, by the book. But the problem was the book itself. It was written for a different world, a world where speed mattered, where firepower decided everything, where seeing first meant winning. That world doesn't exist anymore. Today, the real weapon is information, the gap between what you know and what your enemy knows. Whoever controls that gap controls the fight. The F-35 pilots had the full picture from the very beginning. The F-14 pilots never did. They saw a slow target, an easy kill, a perfect opportunity. But it wasn't the truth. It was a trap. The A-10 was the bait. The F-35s were the answer. And by the time the truth became clear, it was already too late.